So, I know I don't look my best, but that's too bad. So, a lot of things have been rolling around my head lately. You all know it's the dreaded season. Yeah, November, December. Um, there's always hard times, always around these months. And with them come just feelings of dread and uh, trying to make this varsity of a holiday dreamy somehow for your children, for them to have good memories and for them to grow up to be adults and like try to duplicate the dreaminess of Christmas, which it's almost like finding out like the Easter bunnies like doesn't exist. So I don't know what we're really setting up our children for, but for now they seem to enjoy it. And so you have this like pressure on you to continue the varsity of the holiday. And I know I'm so sarcastic, but it's just a part of who I am. So what's my point here? I've been rolling around in my head just thinking of like the different levels of poverty that I've experienced, that I watched other people go through. And like right now at my like poverty level, I just think, well, like let me reword that. Right now, with my lack of funds, not poverty, because I endeavored not to speak of it as if it is mine because I do not want it. Your words are powerful whether you believe it or not. So, anyway, so right now at this level of my temporary lack of cash, I feel as though anybody who can go to Wawa and get a $2 coffee is a rich person. And so there were times in my life where like I could go for a $2, cup of coffee and didn't think twice about it. Just either whether because I was lying to myself about my situation or just because I trusted God would provide and continue to provide, when really I should have been saving for a rainy day. There are people that can go out to eat that I think are like millionaires now, where there were times in my life that I could go out to eat and I did not think of myself as a millionaire. And I find myself being very repentant because I'm watching other people live their normal everyday lives, not thinking twice about their $2 coffee or their $10 lunch or anything like that when there are people that are completely in need. And speaking from my own perspective, I've been seeking employment semi-publicly. I was going to apply for disability this past year, but I really just kind of decided, like, if I win the case, which will be a miracle, do I really want to stay home and rot? Like, do I really want to live that way? And I just decided that wasn't the life that I wanted, that I'm very much a social butterfly and I like to get out there and minister to people's hearts. And, especially the elderly, like I like to clean their houses and just listen to their stories. And so, regrettably, I never filled out that application. I should have because I was greatly suffering at that point. I could not do simple things. I couldn't tie my shoe. I could barely put on my clothes. I could barely get in and out of the bathtub without hurting myself. I could barely put on my own bra, my own undies. I could barely change my child's diaper. I could be honest with you, like all last year, I couldn't drive. I did drive. I drove with my knees and with like my two fingers on the bottom of my steering wheel. And I was still an awesome driver, I'll just have you know. A lot better than a lot of the people on the road. But I've just been thinking of the levels of poverty, like specifically, in Phillipsburg, because that's most of the contact people that I have in my life right now, besides of the, few Peaburg people. I mean, the Pennsylvania people. I'm a Pennsylvania wannabe, to be honest with you, but I have a lot of, like, Bethlehem contacts and stuff like that, but I'm sure there's poverty in other places, but right now I live in Peaburg, and I can tell you from personal experience, like, there's just people that are, like, in denial, and they just go out and spend and spend and spend, and then when they don't have the money, they cry. I've been there. I've done that, because you know what? You get tired of being poor, and you just want to feel like, just for a second of your life, that you can just go out and get whatever you want. Or go out there and use your credit card and just pretend that, like, you'll never have to pay it. Just because you just wish one day that you could just have that relief. And I understand that, and I get that. I just want to say, like, just be wise with your money. Get all the help that you can get right now if you're in my position. I'm currently looking for elderly people who would like someone to clean their home. I'm looking for overwhelmed moms who would like me to clean their home. I know where you've been and where you are and how you feel. And as for the elderly people, I just think that they really need fellowship, and they need people to keep them company. And I know they need help with their homes physically, and I love that. I love going home feeling like I've done some kind of service to society. And that's why I chose to work. Yes, I'm still in pain. Yes, my hands hurt. Yes, my hands don't do what they should do. No, I can't really scrub as great as I want to. Yes, my body hurts when I go home. But it's just the life I chose. So I'm trying to work, but it seems like I'm not making enough money. And my husband just lost his job, so his unemployment is approximately $3.98 a week, which is nothing to live off of. That's not even going to pay our rent, and we already can't pay our rent. So, having said that, you're going to ask me what my point is. Guess what? I have no clue. I just wanted to come on and tell you guys that, like, if you're in my situation, I feel you. It's hard to have faith. It's hard to live on the promises of God. It's hard to say, you know what? One day, this is not going to be like this. One day, my children are going to know how to be successful. One day, they are going to succeed and not be in my situation. One day, I will not have to worry about every piece of food I put in my mouth. One day, I will not have to think about how I will have to withhold food from my mouth just to make sure that they have food for theirs. I will not have to think about selling my belongings just to make ends meet. Which, by the way, Facebook Marketplace, you suck royal eggs. Because every time I try to put something on there, you take it down, no matter how innocent it is. It could be dog supplies, it could be toys, it could be music tickets that I paid for and just couldn't use. So yeah, no props for you there. But so selling things hasn't worked for me. So I gave up on that. I decided that if I wanted things to come to me, I was just going to give them away. So that's where I am right now. I'm just giving things away. If anybody needs any baby stuff, just ask me. There's a bunch of crap that I need to give away. It's hard to keep your faith when you are in this situation. It's possible, but you have to link arms with other people of like faith. You have to make sacrifices, time sacrifices, sacrifices of praise, sacrifices of worship. Get in your bathroom, get in your car. Hey, I'm in my car right now. This is where my worship place is. This is where my prayer place is sometimes. The bathroom is my prayer place. The shower is my place of prayer. I'm not going to lie. It's even hard to pray. Because you just feel like, hey, woohoo. Hey, God, I'm right here. Hello. But he's right here with you. He's right here with you. And he loves you whether you think so or not, because the Word says He loves you, and the Word said He cares about you more than the fowl of the air, more than any creature that He ever made. He loves you the best. So the only thing I can tell you is to read the scriptures out loud. When you don't know what to say, you don't know what to pray, just pray the Word. Just turn on your worship music and just worship. And it says, in the presence of the Lord is fullness of joy. And the joy of the Lord is our strength. So if you want strength, you get into His presence, you grab onto the joy, and you get the strength. So that's my advice for you today. In all my messy hair glory, look at me. God. Jesus, forgive me. My hair is just a rat's nest. I'm trying to fill out applications today, food stamps, Section 8, a free, I can't call it an Obama phone anymore, but a free Obama phone because we can't afford our service. Things are gonna somehow they'll look up, I promise you. I just don't know when. I can't promise you how. But if you get into His presence and you pray and you sing and you talk to Him and you give Him time, like silent time, to hear Him and to hear His voice, direction, anything, He's got to come through for us. If you seek His face and you put His kingdom first and you make every effort to reach out to people who need something, if you give, it will be given unto you. Shaken, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. Something like that. I'm not good at quoting scripture or knowing where they are, but it's in there. It says so. So you have to test God. It says in scripture to test God. So give in the places where you feel like you can't give. And that's the place where He can work with you because you're desperate and you're willing to sacrifice for Him. Make a meal for somebody or breakfast or something and just go to someone's house and give it to them and just say, I wanted to let you know that the Lord loves you. I don't care if you make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and go out into the Eastern Circle or the Bethlehem, Center City, whatever, and just hand out, hot chocolate and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or whatever it is you feel called to do. The Lord's going to honor it, and it's like a penny, a nickel, dime, whatever. It's like money in your spiritual bank. And, whatever you invest in Him can't come back empty. It's just like His Word says that if you speak His Word, there's no way possible that it can return to Him void and empty. If you speak His Word, that's a powerful tool. That is a two-edged sword. It has to cut through things that aren't normally cut through. And I have to remind you, your spiritual battles are very different from your physical. In the physical realm, if you had a fight, you'd be using your fists, you'd be using a knife. Your spiritual battle is with the Word, and it's with praise, and it's with prayer, and one of your I don't know how to say this, but like fellowship is like your glue. When you feel like you're falling apart, you best find yourself a like-minded person who can uphold you when you feel like falling to your knees. Okay? I don't care if it's one person alone, maybe two. You shouldn't be sharing everything with everybody anyway, don't get me wrong. Not all your battles need to be public. In fact, most of them don't. And so I have to publicly apologize for sharing my battle in a public manner. But I just wanted you guys to know that you weren't alone, okay? You know? You might think I'm rich because I have a car, but the car was basically given to us. Both of our cars were. Even my husband's last car was given to us. And so don't think that. Don't think because I have a car that my life is any different than yours. I see people walking and the Lord speaks to me and says, they don't have a car. I want you to understand and be thankful. There's always something in our lives to be thankful for. And sometimes He'll point it out to you. If you have a program like Salvation Army or Catholic Charities, or there's another program that my friend just helped me to find for Christmas gifts. It's a little thing. You get to go there and grab little things. So stocking stuffer kind of items. But take advantage of whatever you have to take advantage of and don't feel bad about it. You're providing a pleasant Christmas for your children, and it's one day and it's 2 months of stress. I get it. And Thanksgiving's no different. I despise cooking that gigantic meal for my tiny little family. I love my family. I'm thankful for my family. So uber thankful, because all the doctors said I could not have children. Take that to the bank. When you feel like you are not blessed, you can't look at monetary stuff and say, I'm not blessed. I did not look like this last year. My face, half my face was sagging like this. And my eyes were so swollen, I could barely see out of my eyes. I feel like I was tired all day. My face was just so swollen and red, all up here, all down here. I could barely walk. I could barely breathe. I am blessed. He is healing me. I may still have pain, but He's still healing me. And it's just because of His promises. It's because of me being obedient as much as I possibly can. I may have bags under my eyes right now because my children have been fighting some kind of weird bug. And I may look like poo-poo. But my eyes are pretty. Anyway, smile, people. My mom always said this thing that bugged the poop out of me, and it was always well, somebody else out there has it worse than you. But you know what? There's really someone out there that always has it worse than you do. So open up your eyes, your big beautiful eyes. Smile, look at yourself in the mirror and say, it's not always going to be this way. It's not always going to be this way. It's not always going to be this way. My life will change. And listen for His voice, because He may give you a little tidbit on how to change your life. I love you guys. Stay blessed. Stay warm. And if you see somebody who's not warm, offer them a jacket, or offer a way to find it for them, or show them the way to find it on their own. Okay? Love you. Bye. Mwah.